morning, bonjour, guten tag, buenos dias, buongiorno, and sabah al khair. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to United Nations, a presidential panel brought to you by Miami YPN and YPN Global. Today, we embark a journey of dialogue, collaboration, and shared vision as we hear from our presidents from across the globe. My name is Simo Labriti, and it's my privilege to be your host for this discussion. In a world full of complexities and challenges, the need of collaboration and understanding is very important. Now, as you know, Miami YPN and YPN Global launched our global initiative a few years ago, and we just came back from Dubai, where we had our second global congress. And this summer, we'll be hosting our global congress in Valencia, Spain, at Emocionate. Save the date for June 20th and 21st. Today, we're honored to be joined by our esteemed presidents who have dedicated a big part of their career to serve their communities. Now, live from Nigeria, we have Obaigbo, and from Miami, we have our president, 2024 President Dania Diaz, Katherine Arteta, immediate past president, and our 2024 global chair. And from beautiful sunny California, we have Singh, California YPN chair, and Amanda Lee, AREAA's chair. Amanda, congratulations. You were just picked for the prestigious 30 Under 30 by the National Association of Realtors. Congrats.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
I appreciate that.
Let's do a quick introduction, and the way we want to do it, so let's just go from the east side. We're in Nigeria, where it's 4 p.m. now, and we're going to start with a quick introduction with Ree, and we're going to give the people from the California side, where it's early morning, some time to take a few coffee sips. Ree, go ahead and give us a quick introduction about what you do.
My name is Obaigbo. I'm the president, FIABCI Young Member Council, Nigeria. I'm also the vice president, FIABCI Young Member Council International. It's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor to be here, and I look forward to getting to hear and interact with everybody and hear a little bit about what's going on across the world. Wow, and congratulations, Amanda. I apologize. It seems my network keeps cutting in and out. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay, perfect. So let's go to Dania.
I'm Dania Diaz, Miami YPN president. Very excited to have a global panel with all of you, and I can't wait to hear how everybody does real estate around the world and to share their leadership journeys and experiences. So thank you and welcome.
And our 2024 YPN Global Chair.
Hello, everyone. My name is Katherine Arteta. I am a 2024 YPN Global Chair. Always excited to collaborate globally with everybody and learn how different markets work, and also to see how we can always help each other grow in our own markets.
Now let's go to California. Breeze, are you ready?
Yep. Hey, everybody. This is Singh. I'm the California Association of Realtors Young Professional Network Chair for 2024. And I have been doing real estate for 8 years, and I'm excited to be on the panel. And Amanda, congratulations on being selected for 30 Under 30.
Hi, everyone. I am Amanda Lee. I am your AREAA EDGE chair. And for anyone that doesn't know, EDGE stands for Educate, Develop, Grow, and Empower the Future Generation of Leaders within our industry and within AREAA. And thank you so much, guys. I was just venting to Simo. I was like, this was exactly my limiting beliefs when I got into the industry. Who would want to work with a young Asian minority? Female too. So to have it be celebrated, to have it be recognized is truly a full circle moment for me. So thank you so much. It means a lot. And
well, thank you so much for being here. We're excited to have you on this panel. And obviously, if you are present, it's for a reason. We want to hear your stories. Now, let's start with the first question. Tell us about your path. So what do you think got you to the top? And how do you plan to lead? And what is your vision for the next few months, for the next year, for your organization?
So my journey, interesting one. I actually started as a marketing professional within the real estate industry. you know, and then I grew within that space to learn and then become a broker and my primary skill. But my journey into becoming a leader, that's becoming the president of FIABCI Young Members, becoming vice president FIABCI International, was more about guidance. I did find a space that I felt needed to be occupied, especially from here in Nigeria and Africa. There's a need for more women to be in leadership positions. Africa is very age-oriented. And so a lot of times there's a thing about respecting elders. And when young professionals are on the table, to be a tendency to overlook young professionals. And I found that space was something that I could lend my voice to, not just as a young professional. And I got to empower myself, educate myself, and then share that knowledge with other young professionals, empower other young professionals. And time and time again, I found myself in situations where people who got to recognize achievements would then nominate me for those positions, nominate me for certain roles, and say, okay, why don't you fill this role? And who do you think among young professionals can fill this role? And that has helped me grow into the position that I currently occupy. And I feel like that has also inspired other young professionals in Nigeria, in Africa, to be a part of larger international communities as real estate professionals, as whatever profession they are in. It has served as an inspiration to other young women, and that's something that has been very exciting for me, and I'm really excited for the future. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing, Ree. So now let's go back to Miami. Dania?
So it all started for me with an email from our local association inviting me to an AREAA bar camp, the very first AREAA bar camp, very first YPN board. And I fell in love with the idea of open collaboration. And I just knew that I needed to get more involved. And as a result, it makes you more knowledgeable. You gain experience through others' experiences. And I just kept showing up. I kept raising my hand, even when it was uncomfortable. And I think I took every opportunity that I could. And I didn't have to ask for it. I was just kind of awarded for the result of my efforts. So for anyone that ever has the end goal to be the president of this incredible association, I would just tell you to put maximum effort. It's like anything that you do in life. And then as far as visions and goals, Miami YPN is all about education, social engagement, and just compounding the interests of everybody's experiences so that we can be that much better, so we can give fellow realtors, a good name for ourselves. So that's my journey, that's my vision, and we have an incredible program, throughout the years. What we've developed is just magical. So I think that we are a force to be reckoned with, and I think that any young professional network who would like to grow, we are more than willing and open to share what we're doing so that we can make everybody's organization better, because together we are better, and that's our slogan.
And I can't agree more, Dania. It's all about goal setting, dedication, and passion. Let's go to Katherine.
Hello, everyone. Well, funny enough, I think a couple years into my first years in real estate, I met some of the YPNs that rock the market, and they started talking about YPN, getting involved. But it wasn't until a couple more years down the line that I tried out for one of the speaker spotlights to do a class, got selected, and then the following year I applied and got in. And it's just been an amazing time all these years. I love to give back things I'm passionate about. I'm very passionate about in this industry. So to me, empowering young professionals, it's just really setting the tone, a solid foundation, and just helping better our industry. I also want to say whenever you're going into any of these volunteer positions, because leadership positions at the end of the day are volunteer, if you are going into it for any self-serving reasons, people do notice. People definitely notice. You see they don't tend to last that long. But when you do anything in life with an open heart, the intention of really helping others, in this case, your industry, wanting to collaborate, doors organically just open. You build amazing relationships. I mean, the true key to success to any organization is just working in synergy, building upon the foundations and helping each year to be better. That's truly how you grow and become more impactful.
Beautiful. Thank you, Katherine. Now let's go to California. Breeze.
So first week in real estate, I joined my brokerage, and my broker was a part of YPN for the local association, and he told me to come along and at least check out the meeting. I went to the meeting with him, and I've been stuck with YPN since then. I joined my local association's YPN first. I gradually became the vice chair for the YPN. Then I stayed the chair for YPN for 2 years straight. We needed a revamp, and I helped revamp the YPN, where we first got our state YPN award. Like I was the local YPN, and local YPN got the YPN of the state award from the state YPN, and because of that effort, I was selected by, like, handpicked. What Katherine was saying, people kind of elevated me to join the California Association of Realtors Board of Director, and over there I got into the YPN again, and I was I think my first year itself, I was made the vice chair, and this is my second year in the state YPN, and I'm already the chair. So I really agree with what Katherine was saying. If your intentions are pure, and if your heart is pure, people will recognize you, and they will help you elevate.
Beautiful. Amanda?
I totally agree. I think leadership is a privilege. So being able to, one, sit in a room with all of these powerful, inspirational, but also selfless type of leaders is really inspiring. So for me, similarly to Breeze, I actually found AREAA probably my first week in real estate. A lot of my brokers and my agents were involved in it. And I was at the time like, oh, I got to focus on my business. Of course, just trying to gain traction. But what I failed to recognize, but it was once you solidify such a powerful why, and that was my community, right? My AAPI community, we were having a hard time finding homes where we felt safe in the midst of Stop Asian Hate, in the midst of literal discrimination within such a diverse place like San Diego as well. I found that once I solidified such a strong and powerful why with AREAA and volunteering, that my business continued to grow too. So it worked hand in hand. And just jumping from the local level role of board of directors to the national chair for the Edge really was inspiring, because I couldn't even see the potential in myself, guys. Like I really was like, I'm cool at the local level. I like making an impact this way, but people had to tell me, no, Amanda, you are thinking too small. Your voice needs to be heard. And similar to what Ray said, lending my voice to people who feel like they don't have one, right? People who feel like they're overlooked in the market. And so once I stepped into my full potential, I really realized like, hey, we can make an impact, and there are real strength in numbers too. So I hope to lead that way as well, just leading with value, especially amongst a lot of change happening with all across our nation, with the way commissions are being held and stuff like that. So just being able to be the top of our young professionals and providing value to our community at a very high level, and leading from the front, really leading by example.
Yeah. What I love about this is that nobody has actually showed up to be present. Everybody showed up to help, to empower, to support. Everybody showed up with work ethics and dedication. And the rewards to make it to the top is your work ethic and your dedications. Now, we are in a global panel, and my next question to all of you guys is, what is it that you're doing to promote global collaborations? We can start with Gray if you're ready.
Yes, I am ready. Okay, so that regarding that question, how do I explain it? A lot of Nigerians, a lot of young Nigerians feel like there's a gap between where they are and getting access to an international platform or to a global platform. And what I have been able to do within my community, people on how they can use the local platforms to access the national platforms, to access the global platforms, and to access global communities. Education is one thing that I feel takes a lot of young professionals from where they are to where they want to be. Education in the traditional sense, right? But then there's this whereby you equip yourself with certain skills and certain information that most people might not make that effort to. And that education gives you more value, gives you more insight that you can then offer a global community, and then you can then offer a global audience that they would want to know, okay, what is happening in this country, this is what is happening in this location. So it then moves from just me personally using my voice to then showing others how to use their skills, how to use their experiences, right, to connect to a global platform. And that's that alone tends to, as Amanda had mentioned, numbers that then creates more people sharing their experiences within a certain, sharing their knowledge within a certain space, and that empowers more people. I don't know, it's like a ripple effect, right? You teach others, they learn, and then it increases more. And before you know it, there's more and more Nigerians, there's more and more Africans on a global space, more and more young Africans, more and more young Nigerians that not just doing it, but then there are those who then get to believe in it and say, oh, I want to be a part of this. I can't be a part of this. So yeah.
Thank you. Now let's go to Miami, to Dania and Katherine. And obviously we all know that Miami YPN is a model for young professional organizations from all over the world. And one of the secrets that we have is this collaboration that we have between the past president, the current president, and the upcoming president to work on projects together. So tell us about what you guys do for collaborations and what are your secrets on making it happen.
So, hello, go first. I guess what Simo's saying is very true and accurate. Pretty much piggybacking on what Katherine started last year. We had our very first YPN Global Congress in Dubai. This year, we went back for our second annual, and we have a third annual YPN Global Congress in Valencia, Spain. So I think it is just an incredible platform, what we have done to create our YPN Global chapter, I would say. It's just incredible that we can connect all of the different countries together, and we can learn together, because it is a question that we get all the time. Why is your market better, or how do different markets look? And for you to be educated and know, real estate in California is like this, real estate in Africa works like this, real estate in Dubai works like that, and there's no other way that we can learn about that if we don't reach out and create those relationships and put on panels and discussions like this. And the beauty of this is that we're all so different, and each one of us has different ways that we express ourselves. And I think that for the listeners, it's just an opportunity for them to get different global perspectives, different takes on how they feel the market is going. And what we are starting here, YPN Global, this is just the beginning. So we hope that all of you will continue on this journey with us and continue to support and bridge more global connections. If you know any other countries or networks, or anything that you would like to bring to this table, we are more than welcome to offer you a seat.
And there's a keyword: collaboration. Katherine?
No, absolutely. And we have so many multicultural hubs of business around the world. And I mean, you go out in Miami and you hear different languages in every street. Miami is one of those epicenters where our industry is greatly impacted by international relations, world economic events. And then we also realize that we also impact greatly other markets in the world. So it's only natural to start bridging those markets together, start building relationships in other countries, and seeing at the end of the day how we can help each other in our own markets. And from what we've seen also, real estate is done so differently in every country, even in the US, in different cities. So there's just such an opportunity of growth because we can always take something away and implement it in our own market, and we can also share the knowledge that we have with others.
Beautiful. Now let's go to California. Breeze or
So
Amanda?
surprisingly, neither my local association and the state association, we don't have a global chapter. And I'm actually working on creating that chapter. It might take us some time, but we are working, we are collaborating, and we are working towards creating that chapter. Hopefully by next year, we should have everything up and running. And that's one of my motives, my goals for this year.
Beautiful, Breeze. And also, and this is where we're coming from now. Keep in mind that YPN Global, it's open for all young professionals from all over the world. This is not restricted for Miami as well.
Is it young professionals or young at heart professionals?
Both. Obviously, leadership it has like an age bracket, but when it comes to membership and collaborations, and it's open to everyone. And they'll love to collaborate with you. And this is like open for everyone who's watching us from all over the world. YPN Global is open to everyone. And obviously, we're gonna have a surprise at the end. And Kevin will make an announcement about something beautiful that we're working on.
Awesome.
Now let's go to Amanda.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, just recognizing if it's lacking in your area or if you already have it, to showcase it. It's really beautiful for us leaders to do that. We have AREAA Global, which encompasses connecting strategic partnerships all throughout the world, especially for investment opportunities. And I love the idea of focusing on diversity in language. We have about 26 different languages that we speak within this organization. So be able to break those language barriers and have people either invest in areas like the United States, or even we had our global passport in Vietnam this year, and just being able to see real estate over there, how it's so different. I think it's extremely powerful to connect worldwide. Just being the largest Asian American trade organization, like I said, if we can speak and inspire change, imagine what we can do on a global scale too.
Thank you, Amanda. Now let's go to some of the tougher questions now. The easier ones is how we started. So we all understand that the real estate market is dynamic. It changes all the time. Now, what are your plans as leaders, as presidents, to lead your organization in adapting to change in the real estate industry? And we feel it. The past few months, the past few years were tough on our members. What are your plans on, and how would you like, and how you're planning to lead during these times?
Okay. So within Nigeria, we do have a lot of influence from the more senior members of FIABCI and professional communities, right? However, within my own capacity, within the young member community, what we try to do is to encourage collaborations among ourselves, because the structure of Nigeria when it comes to real estate is very what will I call it now? Based on referral, right? Based on your network, based on your connection, who within the community can then introduce you to this. If the property owner wants to list, usually it's often with people that they know or people within their space. So now when it comes to as a young professional, what we try to do is encourage ourselves to collaborate So I know, okay, this is my network, and then other young members get to tell me and introduce me to their network. Whatever listings I have, I get to share with theirs. Although in Nigeria, we don't have exclusive listings like they do in the US. In Nigeria, a property owner could have 5 to 10 agents, with their properties listed. And it's just about whoever then gets to, sell the property or lease the property. So what we try to do is if I have properties within a certain location, I can then collaborate with a young professional within another location, within another state. So I stay in Lagos, for example, I can then work with young professionals in another area in Nigeria, is Abuja. So someone who's there can say, okay, I have a client who has a property listed in Abuja. If you have anybody, so such collaborative works, we try to encourage among ourselves. We also try to encourage connecting with ourselves. That is, every now and then I got that inspiration from Miami young professional stuff. I would see on their social media page, very fun and exciting. And I was like, we could do that. So we got to introduce that in Nigeria, where young professionals just go out and have, very casual talk about what we're doing. It's not as serious as the regular meetings, right, where we're learning something or we're doing something. It's more casual, but then we're all having fun with ourselves, and then we all get to talk about what we're doing. Sometimes we bring up obstacles that we're facing, like, oh, I'm trying to close this and this is the issue. And then we share our experiences, because a lot of young professionals, some of us are just learning some things. So we say, oh, this is what happened. And then there are some of us that are third generation professionals, some of us that are second generation. And then they get to, I know a trick for this. I know how to this. So such connections, building such communities, and then of course collaboration, it's something that we try to do to introduce to our job, to make us achieve more and to make us to help us grow as professionals. Yeah.
Thank you, Ree. Now let's go to South Florida.
So change is part of life. I know that there's a lot of people that are probably scared. July is going to be a big month for a lot of us. But I just want to give the message that if you educate yourself, if you utilize the tools that you're given, we're incredibly lucky. Our association is doing an incredible job of providing us with the resources, education that we need to bring back to our companies, to our members, to our young professional networks. And what we're trying to do is just be the voice of truth, and to equip ourselves. But change is constant. Change is a good thing. And I think that if you lead with pure intentions and you do the right thing and you know what's going on, you're going to be all right.
Katherine?
So we constantly feel like we are on our way, right? The ups and downs. However, with the shifts, just like Dania said, I'm a true believer with education and also building a strong community of support. There's a quote, if I remember correctly, that I mentioned in one of the mindset presentations. It's from an ex-Navy SEAL. Under pressure, you don't rise to the occasion, you sink to the level of your training. So that's why keeping a good skill set, staying up to date with the latest advances, especially how technology, like George Carl likes to say, goes at the speed of now, is essential. And also, of course, our mindset, how you perceive things, not letting yourself focus more on the negative. It's like, and I think it was worldwide, COVID affected us all. At the beginning, we were like, oh my God, how are we going to conduct business? We felt like everything was just toppling upon us. But some of us had the best markets shortly after that, and we all pulled through. With any of these changes, Dania mentioned the changes that are going to be going into effect right now, there's always good that's going to come of it. You just have to see the opportunity in everything. So that's why in YPN, and like she mentioned, our association, we focus so much on collaboration, keeping that strong sense of community, and then also education with our educational series, making sure that everyone constantly has the right tool set at their disposal, and the resources available to them.
Perfect. Now let's go to California.
So change is inevitable and change is constant for sure. Like Dania and Katherine said, there are a lot of things that are changing in July with that, with all the AREAA settlement and everything. We have to be ready to pivot. We have to educate ourselves to keep ourselves flexible and be ready to adapt that change. If we don't adapt that change, we will be like we will be in the hindsight and nobody will recognize you also. So I think education is very, very necessary for that. Also, I think change is one thing that you can rely will happen no matter what. So as part of our for the California YPN, we are ready for that. We were able to work with the changes during the COVID time, during the pandemic, and I think if everybody is together, like everybody collaborate, everybody support each other, we all can survive those changes.
Thank you, Amanda.
Absolutely. I think it's a hot topic right now. Everything happening with the NAR settlement, it's top of mind for a lot of people. And they're going to look to us leaders to see how we're reacting to this. And you can just tell like a sense of calmness when it comes to every single leader here, because we already know it's coming. We're not worried about it as long as our members are educated. And one way we do that is through our mentorship program. That is like my baby. It's being able to pair mentees and mentors nationwide who want to grow in the same way, especially through AREAA leadership. Now, mentorship is a two-way street. It's definitely something that you can lean on the tried and true methods, people who have been through just different market changes. Change is inevitable, like you said. They've already been through it. How have they been able to sustain their business? At the same time, the mentors have a lot to learn from the mentees. They're bringing new innovative technologies, modern ways of thinking through real estate. So just being able to pair people and have one voice of reason in a market filled with a lot of noise and cut through that, I think is extremely important. So being able to pair people and then match it with educational events as well too, making sure our members are as well informed and provide as much value so it hits the ground. We're out in the field with really no worries if we're going to rise to the top amongst all this change.
Perfect. So we still have about 15 to 20 minutes to go. Don't go anywhere. We're going to make some huge announcements at the end of this panel. We're also going to open the floor for the audience, if you have any questions. Now, my next question is about legacy. I know that this is very particular, very important for our presidents. We are seeing an example here. Our past president, Katherine, when after she finished her term, she stayed involved and she took on the role of YPN Global chair, and she's also part of the organizing committee for this huge YPN Global Congress we're gonna have in Spain in a few weeks. Now, my question to you is, what are you doing for your legacy, and what legacy do you want to leave behind? We can start for this question. We can start with Katherine.
So of course, global collaboration, you always want every year to be better. We hosted the first global conference last year, and then Dania is just running this year with expanding even more global collaboration. And you just always hope that every year keeps on being better. Also want to mention just empowerment. When you have, and I meant to mention this before, but when you have given the opportunity and also the honor of being able to lead an organization, you also have to remember it's not just about you. You need to also empower others and help groom and empower, who's going to take the reins afterwards, and then also look for future leaders, future presidents, because that's how you keep the organization growing and running smoothly.
We can do Dania, and then we'll go back to California.
So Katherine and I have a lot of the same legacy goals. For me, it's all about inspiration for the next level of leaders. So many incredible leaders that came before me were huge inspirations for me to get more involved and to step up. And for me, I just want to, you know, look to our next generation of young professionals to make this even better. I mean, for me, it's just when you thought it was great, we just blow it out the water. And every single year it's been like that. And I call it compound interest of talents, of experiences and growth. So I just want to continue that. And yeah, so just kind of keep your eyes out as leaders and presidents of your organization. We are the eyes, you know, we are everywhere all at once. So I just, you know, I can't wait personally to see how our YPN Global grows over time. That's the most exciting.
For me, I think that will be inclusion. I'm very big on inclusion. Whenever I see certain committees being set up and I notice that, maybe there are no women or younger professionals are not a part of it, I always lend my voice as a leader to say, oh, why are there no women in this? Why are there no young professionals in this? Why can't we be a part of this? And a lot of times it's, it's just, it just happens where they're like, oh, we want a woman to be a part of this, or we want these young people to be a part of this. And I feel like lending my voice and emphasizing on inclusion has gone a long way to give other young professionals an opportunity to on committee, on discussions, be a part of discussions that they get to say, oh, I didn't know this, or I could share my voice with this. Aside from inclusion, I think it also involves collaboration. I try to encourage a lot more collaborative activities here in Nigeria. And I think it's something that a lot of young professionals in Nigeria have all benefited from.
Yeah, and it's really inspiring to see how important inclusion is for YPN leaders. We saw this conversation with Amanda earlier, and she was talking about how passionate she is about diversity and inclusion. Now, let's go to Amanda.
Love it. I hope my legacy for AREAA Edge is focused on mentorship, because I am the product of what happens when you put powerful mentorship together. Another one that Dania touched on was just being inspirational, motivational, and then bringing that new energy to a conversation, making people excited again about what's to come. So I think that was actually the main reason why people looked at me and they're like, we love your energy. We need your energy. The last thing is structure. I feel like with succession planning, we usually just do 1-year terms at AREAA National. So it's so highly important to have succession planning in place so the next person who comes in isn't so lost, deer in headlights, right? So I'm trying to implement a lot of structure on the back end, working with our staff member to make sure that, hey, this is not just for me. I'm here for 1 year. This is to set the foundation for people to come in and essentially scale it even further. So yeah, those 3 things: mentorship, inspiration and motivation, and structure. Those are the biggest things I hope to leave behind.
Definitely a lot of structure definitely needs to be done, especially if you are a chair for only 1 year, because that's what we have as a term. At YPN, we have only 1 year term. So I'm making sure that the structure is there so that when my successors take over, they are able to carry on that work that we have done. Like they can start building on top of it. The other thing that I would definitely include is in the inclusivity. I am the first Indian chair for the YPN. So, and I broke that glass ceiling for others, and I want to make sure that people keep on breaking that glass ceiling. No matter which community you belong to, you have the opportunity, you have the path, and I created that for them, and we want to make sure that people are on that path to achieve the success that they can get. The other thing that I would definitely want is the community impacts, bringing the global YPN to California, bringing the global market to California. YPN will definitely help that impact. It will help a lot of other agents achieve that global network that they need. That they can build on, that they can be a success in. So that's the other thing that I would like to leave as a legacy. So in all, a good mentorship for sure, inclusivity, innovation, and community impact.
Perfect. Thank you, Breeze. Now, my next question is about women empowerment. It's not by luck that we have 80% of the presidents today, female presidents. Congrats. Now and then, a lot of our collaborations were with the Women Council of Realtors. WCR was our guest of honor in our YPN Global Congress in Dubai, and it was a huge success. We had a couple of all-women panels in Dubai this year, last year, and the year before. Now, my next question is for all women present. I would like to know, what is your message for all the women who are watching you today that may want to be present one day? They want to take on the role of and be in a leadership board. Does it feel tougher to be a female president?
I want to mention, you just truly have to believe in yourself and your capabilities. I know it sounds very cliche, but unfortunately, I feel that it's a little bit more predominant in women suffering from imposter syndrome. You're asked to, you're given an opportunity, a role, you're asked, let's say, to speak, and you immediately, a lot of times you hesitate, you ask yourself, am I really the right fit? Am I the most qualified? And it's just your fears speaking out. So really just start with being kind to yourself, taking those opportunities, because if you are asked, it truly means that you are capable, and just pushing yourself. Secondly, just making sure that your voice is always heard, speaking up in a room, getting involved, never passing up an opportunity. If you are by any chance interrupted, lightly take back control of the conversation. People will respect you more for it. And then thirdly, it's a little bit more food for thought, but just always remember, when as a woman you are in a leadership role, you're also helping pave the way for others. You don't realize how many eyes are on you, and a lot of times you're an inspiration to others. So open the door to either mentorship, or just always be available, because you don't realize it until sometimes even years after, when you're having a conversation with somebody, the impact that you can make over helping somebody or something that you said.
I think it's tougher if you make it tougher. I think that anyone can feel uncomfortable in a room. I think that we all have a little bit of that imposter syndrome. Amanda mentioned it, when they asked you to go national. Katherine, I mean, we all have that. It's normal. But I think that what Katherine's saying is the best advice that you can give. It's believe in yourself. There was a quote that I kept passing by on this vacation that I had to actually buy the plaque, and it was a lion, like a cub and a dad. And it was like, be brave, even if you're not, pretend to be, because nobody's going to know the difference. And that is something that has stuck with me my entire life. And because I know we're short on time and I love stories, I'm going to tell you a story about luck. And I think this has to do with leadership. So it's called the red car story. You can Google it. The woman that tells the story, when I saw it, I reference to this all the time. But she says, I'm going to ask a question. How many red cars did you see today? I don't know. I wasn't looking. Okay, so what if I told you I would give you $100 every single time you saw a red car? Would you look? Oh yeah, of course. I'd be looking for them. I'd be counting them. Of course, hundreds of dollars. Well, that's like opportunities. That's like everything in life. So I think that if you would like to take yourself into a presidency position, look for those red cars.
Thank you so much, Dania, for sharing. And it's for a reason that you guys are president, and you are an inspiration to all of the women who are watching you. And I mean, everybody was watching you, obviously. Now we have about 6 to 7 minutes to go. And every panelist will have about 30 to 60 seconds to answer the next 2 questions that we have. Amanda?
I really couldn't have said it better, Katherine, when she laid out those 3 points. We're talking about just imposter syndrome is so real. It's the last piece of yourself, your old self, trying to squeeze their way in. Just understand that when people ask you to lead, it is quite literally an honor. So just being able to understand that you have the ability to do so, as long as you're willing to grow yourself. If you're open to growing as a leader, then the people around you will also be able to support and uplift you too. So I don't even have much to add. That was just so good.
Yeah, sure. I would also like to say, like, one of the edges that we have with our generation is the access to information. Yes, sometimes there's so much information, but us having free access to that information, a lot of times you can educate yourself on certain things. So when in doubt about a certain situation or about a new topic, educate yourself on it, empower yourself with much knowledge as you feel you need to be able to take that platform and achieve what you want to achieve, to boost your confidence. And then of course there's also the need of mentorship, as you had mentioned before, because a lot of times as a woman in real estate or in the new space, having another female mentor, having another woman that you can be inspired by, often does help build your confidence. Like, oh, this woman has done this woman has been in this position, and I think I can do it. And sometimes having access to those women, if you can reach out to them and say, oh, I'm feeling this sort of way, I have these questions. And then, of course, participating in conversations like this, you get to hear and pick one or two things that you can apply to yourself and to your work and to the opportunities that you aspire to take to achieve. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. So my next question, obviously, is about global real estate events. And then, so would like to know what are the global events they would recommend to our audience that they should attend to build those global connections and foster more collaboration. We can start with Breeze.
So the global events that I would definitely suggest is this called I think it's happening in June. It's called Premier Global Event in UK. I think that's a really good one. A lot of people from different countries take part in that, and it's definitely a really good event to attend. Actually, I was in India, like I was in UK in March and in London, and there was actually a real estate event happening. I don't remember the name of it, but I did meet a lot of other country real estate agents over there too. So definitely, like I said, we are pretty much brand new to global YPN, and I'm trying to explore how like as much as I can. So pardon me if I don't know the exact names of the events, but be part of it as much as you can. And if you are interested, for people in US, NAR has a list of these global events on their page.
Yes, thank you, Breeze. And obviously, as part of what we're doing, all the panelists will share their contact information, email or social media on the chat. So obviously, if anyone needs some more information, then they can reach out to you. Now, let's go to Amanda.
Yes, so global events that we have was our global passport event that we had just in Vietnam. I believe they were talking about going to Southeast Asia next year again. So that will be really exciting. Another one I wanted to highlight is the Global and Diversity for Housing Summit. This is in Washington, D.C. It happens every single year, actually in a little bit less than a month, May 6th to 8th. We go to Capitol Hill and we all meet with our local and state representatives to talk about the housing disparities in AAPI communities. So that was the event for me that pivoted everything, that said, hey, you know what? I can make an impact nationwide, globally. And I was telling Simo this, let's be honest, like people like me don't really get to have seats in those rooms. So to be able to pull up a chair and to tell the stories of my community, my family, like literally I live these trials and tribulations, and to have it not fall on deaf ears in a place that has so much impact and change, that is truly, truly a powerful, powerful event. So if you can make it, love to see you there.
For me, I would recommend the FIABCI World Conference Congress. So it's happening in May. I think this year it's going to be in Singapore. the last week of May. That should be from the 27th of May to the 31st of May. FIABCI conferences are always a platform for you to network and get to meet experienced real estate professionals. I'm talking about legal professionals that are specialized in real estate, architectural professionals that are specialized in real estate, just across the different industries that serve real estate. And it's something that any young professional can say, okay, I want to learn more about real estate and get to network and meet. I mean, that's how I met Kevin. So and that's how I got to know about Miami. I think we did our last year FIABCI conference in Miami. That's how I got to get a really awesome experience of Miami. So FIABCI conferences are really something to look forward to, and I'll advise and recommend any young professional to be a part of the next one.
Great. So let's go back to Miami now. I know we all know that Miami YPN has been a success story when it comes to global collaborations. We launched YPN Global 2.5 years ago, and it's been a success. Miami Realtors is #1 when it comes to global collaborations and putting together global events, over 200 collaborations worldwide. Katherine and Dania, what would you like to share?
So one of my favorite places to engage with global agents is our global roundtables at Florida State meetings. I'm a Florida State director. I'm a national director. Again, just showing up, being genuinely interested and participating and enthusiastic about the changes that we could make with our voices. So I think these global roundtables are great opportunities for us. Obviously for people that are listening around the world, maybe you don't have a global roundtable, access to a global roundtable. So I inspire you to create global roundtables. How would you do this? Maybe attend, pick a conference, whether it be FIABCI, whether it be a YPN Global Congress, and maybe make an initiative to create that. And what you do is you get as many people as you can together. We all put our business cards on the table. We have a set of questions. Every table has different sets of questions just about real estate in general. How do loans look like in your country? How do you do business? How do you market? How do you build global relationships? And you share. And the more you share, the more it compounds and it creates more knowledge. And over time, it's powerful.
And our
So-
Miami YPN Global Chair.
So of course, I want to talk about our YPN congresses. It's just the epitome of top young professionals from all over the world getting together, sharing information, masterminding, collaborating. If you truly want to expand your global connections, I highly recommend attending one of these conferences. We plan one every year. We had the first one in Dubai last year. We had the second one this year, again in Dubai, and then we are hosting another one in June in Valencia. I'm actually going to drop the link for the YPN Congress in Valencia in the chat. So if anyone is interested, they can click on it. And then of course, if you have any other questions, you can reach out to myself or Dania or Simo, and of course, Kevin. If you plan on going, we would love to have you on stage and implement you into the programming, because we, of course, love to include. It's not a Miami show when we put on the YPN congresses. It's truly a global YPN congress where we include YPNs from all over the world. We just need to know first if you are coming so we can include you. So hope to see many of you there.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Katherine. And what's beautiful about what we do our global congress. So for example, this year, 50% of the panelists were on stage for the first time. And this is the power of Miami YPN. 80% of the panelists were on a global stage for the first time. And so this is what we do, and this is our mission, and this is our vision within Miami YPN. Before we go to the next, before I open the floor for questions, I cannot find the words to thank Kevin Porticelli, our VP of YPN. Thank you so much for everything you've been doing. Thank you so much for putting this together. He is the man behind all the events that we put together in Miami YPN, and he has a big announcement to make. Kevin?
Right. So we officially have a global membership called YPN Global Pro. We offer a lot of different amazing products. One of the things that you do need to know is if you do want this product, You don't necessarily have to get your Florida license, but it would be beneficial for you. We have a class for you to get your Florida real estate license. The reason being we're encouraging you to get your Florida real estate license is because we are looking to grow the biggest global MLS in the world. We already have 500 global listings on our MLS, and we are connected with Omni, IMLS, which is our international MLS. So we're already sharing listings with a lot of places, and we are already the leader, but we want to cement that. We want you to add your listings in our MLS so that people, when they think of, oh, I want to see what is available in the Caribbean, you know, we have a whole list of houses that are in the Caribbean. So any place that you want to look for real estate, we want Miami MLS to be the first spot to look. So there's a lot of other great incentives to join. We're going to give you a free CIPS class. We're going to give you access to eMobile, which puts websites in 12 different languages. There'll be a global referral network. So we have a lot of great products and services that a large association like Miami Realtors can provide. And now our initiative is to share it with the world. And Breeze, man, when you want to do anything global, we would happily help you. It's one of our goals to actually connect with more real estate professionals in India. We think it's a huge place that is going to see incredible growth within the next couple of years and through the next couple of decades for sure. So anything that we can do to support you and your endeavors, you know, we're obviously here for you. And that goes to anybody, anywhere in the world, you know, anybody who has ambitions. We might have a connection that helps get you started, or we might be able to help give you some of the groundwork to put on a successful event. We want to be a resource for everybody, not only in the MLS, but in leadership and ways just to live a better life. So
Beautiful.
I'm not gonna say any more about YPN Global Pro today. It will be prorated. It'll be an annual sort of thing. So we are starting our dues billing season here in the next month, so it'll be the highest price. But if you want to give it a try, talk to us in November when we're all in Boston, and it'll be a prorated rate, and you'll kind of get 6 months to test it out and see if it's really something for you.
This is exciting. This is exciting. And you guys have no reason not to be part of this movement. And to learn more about what we do, follow us on YPN Global and Miami YPN. And if you want to be part of join any of the memberships, click on the link on bio, and it's going to take you to a page where you can sign up. Let's go ahead and open the floor for 2 questions.
Hello. Oh, this is amazing. First of all, like just looking at the cameras and just noticing that everyone comes from a different background. This is very exciting, and I'm sure it's just the beginning of something bigger. We're going to have like a whole bunch of different cameras turned on, hundreds and hundreds of people in the future. I see it. So just really quick for time purposes, in what ways does your leadership, or whatever country you're from, fosters diversity, equality, and inclusion within your industry? And what do you think we can do better, or what can be done another way? Whoever wants to take it.
Yes, please go ahead.
The first thing that we should do is we should recognize our implicit biases. We all have biases, and we should recognize that. We should be able to identify those. And once we identify them, we can work on getting over them. And that's how you can be more inclusive. If you're not inclusive yourself, like you're not going to help out on being inclusive or making other people recognize that too. The other thing is making sure that you are constantly working on fair housing. You're constantly working on being equal to everybody, regardless of their sex, regardless of their sexual orientation, whatever. We have to be very open to what people are thinking, what people feel like, and make sure that we are creating that path for them.
Thank you, Breeze. Now, does anyone have any other questions? We can take one last question. We're like 3 minutes past our time.
I'd like to add to what Breeze just said
Yes.
with regards to, you know, so I think representation also goes a long way with regards to you know, inclusion and all that. When you represent people, when you also lend your voice, because as a leader, you have a voice that you can use to speak out when you see people you know, bringing in their biases and saying, you know, this is what works, this is what doesn't work. Educating people, especially those that may be more senior to yourself and might need a little more, educating them on what should be and what can be and the possibilities, even if some people might seem like they are set in their ways or they are stuck in their biases. And that, that goes a long way. Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
also want to add something. I mean, our association, and I know NAR has been putting out a lot of educational components to really bring awareness. Miami is such a multicultural hub that we have that to our advantage, that we're constantly being exposed to so many different cultures, but we're all still a little ignorant. It's just, and when I call somebody ignorant, it's not an insult. We all are ignorant in what we don't know. And it's impossible to know every single culture, religion in the world. So when we do come across someone that's different, like I personally, on my free time, I love to travel. I adore to travel. I think it opens up, it broadens your horizons, it opens up your mind. It just overall makes you a better person, because I love emerging in cultures, learning about different religions, and it inadvertently it does help you in your everyday life and in business. So in our industry, even if locally you might not have that much diversity, but we all travel, whether it's for fun or for work, when you come across other cultures, just really take initiative to learn about them, ask some questions. So you never know when you're going to interact with a client from a specific country, and then that's going to help.
I love the micro level tactical things that we can do to our day-to-day, because they just, you don't become aware of the implicit bias, right? That you have even just when you're reviewing offers. Are you putting the last names? Are you putting the first names? What are you showing to your sellers on that micro level? Secondly, I think that I can feel the energy in this Zoom. We need to utilize this energy and power to get DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion on main stages. At my brokerage side, diversity was in a small breakout session. I went to the CEO. I said, no, it has to be main stage. We were given a keynote the next year. So use that voice to be sure that it's not just a buzzword. People are saying, oh, we checked it off. We did that. We did a breakout session. No, let's go ahead and bring it to the higher ups and make sure that that's featured on all main stages. So love what YPN Global, like the fact that 80% of first time global speakers, that is badass. So let's continue that momentum.
Thank you, Amanda. And I feel like we can have this panel going for another hour. Thank you so much for being here.
Can I just, before I know you're going to end it, but I want to recommend, just because we're talking about biases, as an NAR director this year, we were required to take a fair haven housing simulation. We were required to get our at home with diversity certification. Very helpful. I think that if Karen's asking for specific tools that we can use, but the one course that I found the most valuable was the bias override, overcoming barriers to fair housing class. We had leaders from all across the nation on that call, from all different backgrounds, and just it was an open space for us to share how we feel. And I found that just almost like perspective changing. So I think, I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like that is something that can help us, because a lot of times we don't even know. So, I'm lucky that I'm in Miami, but not everybody has such a cultural melting pot. So, I was raised with just a lot of diversity, and I've always had genuine love for so many different types of people. So I just wanted to share those 3 courses with you guys, just to give you specific tools that you can use. Thank you so
much, Dania. Well, obviously, if you like this panel, please join us on all our local events, and make sure that you register for our global events as well. We're going to be in Spain, Valencia in June, the 20th and the 21st, and it's going to be a great event. And as we conclude, let's remember that collective efforts and shared experiences share as an important factor for innovation and progress in our industry, right? Together, through active engagement, panels like this, continuous learning, and collaboration, we can navigate the ever-evolving landscape of real estate and drive positive change on a global scale. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you soon.
I'm a YPN leader. Of course, I'm going to be on my laptop.
I'm a YPN leader. Of course, I have a full purse.
I'm a YPN leader. Of course, I'm eating before I leave.
I'm a YPN leader. Of course I'm sneaking out for showing. We're YPN leaders.
Of course we're going to be creating content.
I'm a YPN leader. Of course I'm signing up for classes.
I'm a YPN leader. Of course I'm campusing growth.
I'm a YPN leader. Of course I'm going to crash the next happy hour.
If I'm on my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? If I'm on my way home, yeah. If I'm on my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Don't you still amaze me?